Welcome to this podcast. I am your host, Karen Michelle. I want to welcome you back to this channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that notification bell, you give me a thumbs up, and you subscribe to this channel, as I am going to continue to bring you wonderful content that will just make you think, inspire you, and possibly change the way that you think. So I want us to just jump right in.
Okay, let's go.
And I'm so excited to be back here with you again to just have another high frequency conversation. Today's podcast is sponsored by The Plant Project, located here in Dallas and in Houston. Visit them on www.plantproject.com. Thank you guys for sponsoring this wonderful podcast. As I take a deep breath, and I want us to start doing that. I want to start opening up this podcast with everyone just taking a deep breath, because we've taken in so much today. A lot of us that are still working 9-to-5 jobs or working 12-hour shifts, we have to find time to just kind of regroup and come down off of our day and just really just take that time to just reflect on, just life and our goals, So I just want to take a deep breath and just, because I can keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And sometimes I have to learn how to slow down, because if I don't slow down, then I will be overwhelmed later in the week. And I know a lot of you can probably identify with that. We, like, by Wednesday, okay, it's supposed to be the hump day. Like, everyone gets excited because we're like halfway through the week. And then we find ourselves overwhelmed. So I want you to take this time, just take a deep breath. It's okay. Whatever you're going through, whatever you experienced this week or last month, let it go, okay? Let it go, because you can't go back and change it. This is not Quantum Leap. If y'all remember that show, Quantum Leap, if I'm saying it right, you can't go back and change anything, but what you can do is change your present, change now, and how you can change things. And a lot of people ask that, well, what do you mean? How can I start changing my situation? Change the way that you think. Change your thinking. That is how you can get 5 steps ahead of yourself, okay? Now, today's topic, okay, I want to talk about this, is how we battle with our flesh. Okay, during this spiritual journey, how we battle with our flesh. And I can so identify with this, because I battle with my flesh. If it's not on a daily, it's maybe every other day, because I'm human at the end of the day, okay? All of us are human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes. We all allow our minds to take us down this negative path when we should be on this positive thinking and be on this higher vibration. But sometimes it just doesn't go that way through our day, because we have stumbling blocks. We have people that will try us. They will try you, and it will take you sometimes out of your character. So, y'all, right now we are in a war between good and evil. And if you can't check your own flesh and stop yourself in the midst of something where you feel like you're getting heated, or you feel like you're being taken out of your character, or you're going to say something that you regret, we have to take a time out, okay? And we have to reflect differently. Okay, so I want to share this story because, y'all, I'm telling you, it is a war with my own flesh at times. And I was going through a situation like literally last month. And I'm not going to go into full detail about it. That may be a later podcast when I'll be able to open up about it. But I was going through a really tough situation, and everything that I worked so hard for was crumbling right before my eyes. I could not believe it. I felt the steam rise in my body. I felt my temperature. I felt my temperature go up. And in that moment, I said to myself, you're going to either do one or two things. You're either going to lose your dang on mind and just flip over the table and just lay everything on the line, or you're going to take a higher road. You're going to rise to a higher vibration, and you're going to handle this differently than what you usually would try to handle things. I said, okay, so I knew that was God talking to me. I did. I knew it. But at the same time, I said, oh, I told God, because me and God talk. We talk. We've been talking for a long time. I said, God, you know I'm gonna throw some petty shots in there, right? You know I'm gonna be a little slick. Just let me have a little bit of this moment, please. So of course, if you don't know me, if you're new to this channel, you may not know me, but for those that think they know me or or really do know me, y'all know when I try to throw my little petty shot in there, I'm going for it, okay? Full throttle. But I kept my composure, but I threw a shot and I was like, okay, God, that was the only shot I wanted to throw. But in that moment, I still had to tell myself, you can either just F it all or do something positive. So in that moment, I gathered myself and I said, oh my God, this is like a war with my flesh, because I had to check my flesh at the door. Like I had to check myself really quick and like, the results from you taking a lower vibration and a negative response to it, it's not going to get you anywhere. But if you take this higher vibration and you do something that, something positive, then you're going to, it's like positive. If you put something positive out, something positive is going to come back in return. If you put something negative out, something negative is going to come back in return, which some people call it karma. Everybody got a name for it. But y'all, we are like battling with our own selves. And this is one of my favorite sayings that I tell people all the time. Sometimes I have to get out of my own way. And that means you too. Sometimes you have to get out of your own way, because we can get in our own way and with our mental and with our thoughts and whatever we got going on, and how we want to respond to it, and how we get into our emotions of how it made you feel, and and we get into our mental thoughts, and sometimes our mental thoughts are not clear at all. Okay, it is all foggy and it look like it's raining and storming. Our mental thoughts are not always there. Okay, so sometimes we have to check ourselves. Okay, check your flesh and make sure that you are on that spiritual realm of being able to control yourself and how you react, and how how you're going to allow your emotions to interfere, and how you're going to mentally accept things, or mentally let go of things, or whatever it is that you're battling with your mental. So I just, I wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to talk about that. And then, y'all, listen to this. I had to like literally accept some things through my journey as I was discovering, as I was falling into knowledge, as I was really starting to figure out who I was. And yeah, I'm telling you, the spiritual journey is just it's beautiful if you just give yourself a chance to just experience your spiritual awakening. Okay, so but I had to kind of check myself through it, because I will relapse and fall back into the old Karen. And we do that, we relapse. That's just like someone that's on drugs, or someone that's an alcoholic. People relapse, and we can relapse mentally. We can go back into that whole negative, I'm just that's what I do that a lot. My husband like, do not do that. We get into this negative space where no one wants to be around us. No one really wants to hear anything come out of your mouth, because you don't speak anything positive. And who wants to be around someone? Now I'm going to get my Jim Rome in. Who wants to be around someone that never has anything positive to say? Yes, I listen to Jim Rome, y'all. So who wants to be around it? So y'all, let me tell you, You have to change your thinking. And I'm gonna go back to the story real quick and I'm gonna wrap this up because y'all got some homework to do. We all got some homework to do because we got to check our mental. We got to check our emotions. We got to check our flesh. If you do not check those things, it will take over you. Okay? It will take over you and you will be confounded into this dark space, and then you're trying to figure out, how do I get out of it? I want to be happy. Like all these people I see happy, walking around, walking their dogs in the grocery store and on their yachts, and I just want to be happy like everyone else. How can I find my happiness? Do I go and marry someone? Do I find happiness getting married? Do I find happiness with buying a dog? Do I find happiness with going to eat at this fast food restaurant? Do I find happiness within friends? No, you have to find your own happiness within, but it's going to start with changing the way you think, changing your thinking. Okay? So, yeah, I had to change my thinking really quick. Okay? I had lunch with one of my mentors when I was in Las Vegas, and this was about a year, maybe a year and a half, two ago. And I don't know, I want y'all to look her up. I don't know if you know her, but her name is Sophia Stewart. She is the mother of the Matrix. Yes, you heard that right. The mother of the Matrix. She is the writer and the creator of the Matrix. And I bet you didn't know that she was a melanated woman. Yes, she's just like me. Just like me. So, y'all, we had lunch together. And we've been on a few calls, and she does a lot of what do you call it, Clubhouse, and she does a lot of private calls that we jump on. And I have been really learning about the Matrix and the agents, and and how we, the oracle, and how the oracle, the womb of a woman. Yeah, I've been learning a lot. So I'm not going to go into all of that in this podcast. We'll talk about that another day, because hopefully, Sophia, if you're watching this, hopefully I can land an interview with her. Okay, I have been trying to put this together for a minute, but when God says so, it will be. It will be so. It will happen. But I remember us having a conversation during lunch. And I was just telling her, she was like, so Karen, what do you see yourself doing? And, what are some of your goals and dreams? And y'all, literally, this is what I said. I really want to be an actress. I really want to get into entertainment and, be on TV and this and this and that. And she's just watching me as I'm talking, and she's just admiring me as I'm speaking. And by the time I got the last word out, I remember she got a napkin and she wiped her lips because we were eating. And she said, Karen, you will never be famous. I was like, I didn't say nothing. But inside of me, I was like, what you mean I ain't gonna never be famous? What? How she gonna go piss on my dream? How she gonna tell me I ain't gonna never be famous? I had to check myself in that moment. I said, and for a minute, I was offended. I was so offended. Like, how could she like literally piss on my dream? How could she poop on my dream like that? How could she tell me that? And she explained why. She said, now remember, y'all, this is the mother of the Matrix. She said, you'll never be famous because that's not what God has for you. I said, whoa. She said, no, because this is my podcast. I can't say whatever I want to say. Right? Oh, ain't nobody here to, ain't no, what do you call it? What's them people at them jobs? Quality control. There's no quality control with this show. So I can say what I want to say. But they may flag me, but it's okay because it's the risk I'm willing to take. But she said, in order for you to be famous, it comes with a lot. And that may consist of selling your soul. I said, selling my soul? Well, that's one thing I ain't fit to do. I sure ain't selling my soul. And she said, you don't want to be famous. She said, I can tell you a lot of Hollywood stories that you wouldn't even believe. I said, ooh, I don't know if I'm ready to hear this. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready to hear this, but she told me a few stories and I was like, wow. So in that moment, I understood where she was coming from. You don't want to be famous. You want to inspire people. You want to help people. You want to be a positive influence on people. That's what you want to do. You don't want to be famous. And I said, wow. So I took that pill and I swallowed it in that moment. And I said, you know what? That made a whole lot of sense. Now, a lot of other things were said, but I'm not going to go there deep into it because this was like a really long conversation. And I really had to check myself and say, okay, Karen, you can go ahead and like check that off your list that you're not going to be famous. But what you are going to do is you're going to inspire and lift up people, lift people's spirits up, help people change their thinking, help people discover their purpose, you know? And so I was like, I accept it. When God started showing me, I was like, I accept this, you know? And to know that, my mentor, she checks on me every chance she gets. Anytime I'm in Vegas, I try to catch up with her. So make sure y'all look her up, Sophia Stewart. She just wrote another book. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. How could I forget? She wrote Terminator. Y'all know all you 80s babies like me, Terminator. She wrote Terminator and created Terminator as well. So go read up on her. Go find her videos and everything. You will be amazed to learn more about the Matrix and know that you are Neo and there is a Morpheus and all that. I'm not going to even go. You better go down that rabbit hole and find out yourself. Don't listen to nobody. That's one thing. Don't you listen to everything that everybody got to say. You go research yourself and read it for yourself. And that's one thing we don't like to read. We will not read. We will sit up and watch the television. Let the television tell us what to think. We have to time out, okay? We have to take a time out and check ourselves. Okay, make sure that you are full throttle operating in your purpose. Make sure that you have everything that you need. Make sure that you're speaking and connecting and grounding. Not every day, you don't have to do it every day, but if you can get it in every day, do it every day. And I promise you, you're going to start seeing a difference in your thinking. You're going to start seeing a difference in how you respond. You're going to start seeing a difference in just life altogether. I'm here to inspire you. This is why we're doing the Shades of Success podcast. I want to thank you for being on here and watching this podcast again. Y'all, make sure you hit that notification bell. You give me a thumbs up and make sure you share it and make sure that you subscribe. I love every last one of you, and I'm going to check back in with you on the next podcast. Peace and love.